Hello there, the uneducated businessman here, and following up on my leadership program, I just want to do a short video on how to prepare for the meetings, especially when they are, well, not really, especially when they're Zoom meetings. It's the same concept, really. I just talking about Zoom a lot because most of my meetings these days tend to be via Zoom, and I do well. I'm not going to lie, I'm not the most prepared person in the world. I'm not the most organised person in the world. I have other people do that for me because it's not a strength of mine. So I utilise people who are very strong in organisation, and I get them to organise things for me. I give them what I need and what I want, and they sort that out. But I'm privileged I've got a team around me who can do that. Not everybody has that, and some people, especially when you're starting out, have to prepare themselves. So if you've got a team, let the team know what to do from what I'm saying, and if you don't, you're going to have to do this yourself. But if you do it yourself, don't worry about it. It doesn't take long. It's not endless tasks, and a little preparation will go a very, very long way. So when I have a meeting, I always get someone to send the agenda out in advance. Always prepare an agenda for the meeting and send it out in advance so your team members are prepared. They know what's coming. They can start building up ideas and questions and answers themselves, and they can contribute more to the meeting by knowing what's going on. Never change things. Avoid last minute changes at all costs. It throws people off track. It alienates people. People don't like it. Most people don't deal with change very, very well. So keep changes, or don't even make changes. Just stick to the agenda and don't cancel. When you've got a meeting, that's your meeting. You know, if you've got a team who's working remotely, they've changed their whole schedule for this meeting, don't cancel. You're going to annoy people if you keep cancelling. Get that meeting, stick to it, unless something absolutely emergency, you can't say no, comes up. Never ever cancel. And always follow up with your meeting, a little bullet point just to reinforce the idea. So go through, get someone to take some notes and just follow it through so people have their they've got to reinforce. They've got something there that's going to reinforce the ideas. So you need to mentally prepare for the meeting as well. You need to know what you're going to be talking about. You need to know what the objective is. What do you want to get out of this meeting? What do you want the staff to get out of the meeting as well? What do you want them to know? What do you want them to do, and how do you want them to feel at the end of the meeting? You know, that is very, very important. You know, we talk about the emotional aspect of dealing with a team, especially when they're remote, and you've got to work out ways of getting them to feel excited. So sharing what you're doing and sticking to what you're doing, and being precise on what you're doing, and having a roadmap where people know where to go, and having a bit of humour in your meeting would always contribute well to getting people excited about that. So write up the agenda and keep things fresh. Just don't make it the same thing over and over again. I've had this in the past where every meeting's the same. Every meeting has exactly the same format. You go in, someone talks for an hour, everyone sits there listening, and it's just boring as hell. You know, don't do it like that. Think about how you can go deeper. I made a couple of notes here, and what did I put? I go deeper into leadership. I want to start talking about different ideas, different ways the business will evolve, different things I want them to consider. I always have a bit of a brainstorming session to the meeting as well. You know, people want to bring things up. You know, what have they got anything to contribute? You know, any other business at the end of it is always a good one. So just think of ways to keep it fresh and I would say humorous, definitely, and engaging. You know, it's difficult. I find it difficult. This is why I do these videos quite short, because if I did these an hour and a half, I couldn't watch it. I'm sure you couldn't watch it. It'd just be bloody boring. So imagine what it's like if you're sitting on the end of a camera just talking for an hour and a half to your team, and they're sitting there within their own office in their house, thinking of all the things they've got to do. It's not going to be inspiring. So try to keep the meetings as short as you possibly can. As I said in the other one, have the half hour for chat and getting to know each other and bonding, and then make everything boom 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 to the point. Get on with it. Don't dilly dally, and keep it fresh. And I think if you can do that, and if you can prepare in advance, and you can set the agendas, avoid changing, never cancel, and reinforce your key points, that will really hit home with your meetings. Your team will know exactly where they stand, and they will definitely see you as a great leader. And keeping with the leadership form, what's the next one? I want to go a little bit. Oh yeah, I remember now. I think I've covered a lot on leadership, and I don't want to get to the stage where I'm repeating myself and it gets a little bit boring and we talk about Zoom calls and all of this. So I've really touched on the basics, and there's so much more I want to share, but I don't want it to get too deep too quickly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into project management. So I'm going to start a playlist on the basics of project management, and I'm going to be talking about that over the next few weeks. And then I'll probably come back to leadership and start padding it out and getting a little bit deeper into it as well. So for now, that's kind of everything with regards to leadership that I want to talk about. It's giving you some real basics of how to keep the team together, how to motivate them, how to get them engaged with each other, how to get them seeing you as a good leader, and that will put some really good foundations in for you. So now we're going to cover, or in the next video I'm going to cover some stuff on project management, and we'll go through some basics on that just so you can build these foundations out even more. And as we go through, I'll add some more basic stuff with the foundations, and then we'll spin it around and we'll come back to leadership and we'll get a little bit more in depth. Hope that's useful. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back soon. Take care. Over and out.